we have a 2004 Mustang with a 3.8 liter V6 engine, and we're going to be performing a compression test on the engine itself. I've been noticing a couple of issues, such as a little bit of power loss. There's a little bit of leaking, so I know I have to change the cylinder head gaskets, seals, and all kinds of other items. So it's an easy task to do. So we'll go over the items that are required, and we'll prep the car and start the compression test. All right, here are the following tools that you'll be needing for this project. You'll need a torque wrench, a 5/8 adapter for your spark plugs, a couple of extensions. I like to use a short and a long one, a wrench, and a compression test gauge set. Now these, either you can buy somewhere like a Harbor Freight Tools, pretty cheap, or you can go to your local auto parts store and ask for the loaner tools. In this case, I didn't want to spend on a tool that I'm not going to frequently use, so I basically left a deposit for this. They will return it once you're done and return the tool back. So it's about $40, not bad, I would say. And the way it works is this actually connects to the gauge. This end will go into the location where the spark plug is at. Then we're going to turn the engine, we're going to crank it up, and check the compression rate on each of these. Now you'll also need some pencil and paper or something to write with, so you can take note as to what the ratings are for each of the cylinders you're going to test. But before we do that, we're going to take some precautions. We're going to prepare the car. Basically, we're going to disconnect a few items so that you can be safe while you're performing this test, okay? All right, next, I like to do this extra step as a precaution. If you see other videos, you probably won't see this, but I like to just be safe and not just, keep fuel out of the system when you're trying to turn the key for this test. So what we do is you pop the trunk, go to the driver's side, remove the panel here, and you're gonna see this switch over here. I don't know if you can focus in correctly here. I'll do my best. Pardon my video taking skills here. And what you're gonna do, there's a little clip in the front. You raise it a little bit, and you can pull down the adapter here. And that's it. So what this does, it actually turns off your fuel pump. So you're not gonna get any fuel into the system. All right. Next, we're gonna actually turn on the car, let it run until it basically stops on its own. That way, again, like I said, it's for safety purposes. All right, next, we're gonna pop the hood. We're gonna go to the battery, and we're gonna disconnect the negative terminal. Now, I have a special adapter here that just by turning the knob will cut the power. Now, recommend just in your case, if it's like this, just unbolt it, remove the terminal from the negative side, and that will cut the power to your car. Now, in my case, it's sometimes difficult to know if or you can't tell if the power is off with this type of adapter. So the way that works is I'll turn on the headlamps. Now, mine are smoked, so they're hard to tell right now here on the video. You can kind of hear the fan on my LEDs going off. So now, I'm gonna turn it. No power, lights are off. So I'm ready to start the project. So these are the only two steps that you need to take for precaution and to prep your car for the compression test. So let's get started with that. All right, so we're gonna disconnect one more component. Here's the power, the coil, and we're gonna disconnect this item right here. We're just gonna unclip it. So what's gonna happen is that it's not gonna distribute any power to any of the spark plugs. And once I do that, I'm gonna basically connect my negative terminal so I can crank up my car. and we can see what's going on. I actually already have the gauge set up and location number 1. Okay. All right, for the compression test, here are the steps. So let's go over them real quickly before we actually executing them to get an idea. So the way the cylinders they're numbered, or the spark plugs, if you're on the passenger side, front side, you got 3 on this side, 3 on this side. So they go from 1, 2, 3, starting from the front all the way to the back, and 4, 5, 6 on the driver's side. Now you're gonna have to take a few steps if you have an intake like mine, and even in your regular intake, if you haven't modified your cold air intake, you're gonna have to remove this piece right here so you can get to the spark plug wires, which are down there. You're gonna pull each of them, then you're gonna remove each of the spark plugs, plug in your compression tool, crank the car for about 3-4 seconds, and then you'll get a reading. And then replace the spark plug, move on to the next one, and that's basically it. So in a few minutes, I'm gonna go ahead and remove that cold air intake, prep the car for our first compression test on cylinder 1, and then we'll move on from there. All right. All right, so really that's all I needed to take on this car. I'm not gonna take the whole piece off. I just need enough room to get my hands in there, get the spark plug wires, unplug them from the spark plugs, and put in the compression tool in there. So I'll get you a close-up to see what we're doing. So now what we're doing is we're pulling that spark plug from cylinder 1, just like so. There we go. Put it aside, and you can see there's a spark plug. Now we're gonna put our adapter on there and take it off, unscrew it, counterclockwise, of course. Alrighty, let's do that, and we'll continue with the test. All right, now we're ready to crank up the car. Negative post, battery post is plugged back in. We got some power. I'm gonna crank the car for about 3 seconds. You're gonna see that needle jump up until it reaches its maximum compression rate, and then we'll take note of the number, and then we'll move on to the next location. Here we go. Looks like it's at 130, 140. Okay, once you're ready, we can release this one right here. Releases the compression rate. We're gonna try it one more time. Let's wait for the gauge, the dial to reach 0. There we go. And let's try it. Reach 150, not bad. That's normal for this car. So we'll do that same test on all the other locations as well. There you go, not bad. All right, let's move on. Now again, you don't want to be going more than 3-4 seconds on this. All right, so we did cylinders 1, 2, and 3. We're gonna do 4, 5, and 6 now. I have it hooked up to cylinder 4. I had to put the cold air intake back on because I'm running out of sunlight. So, all right, so let's zoom in. Let's crank it up. Let's see how much we get on this one. Looks like we got 145, not bad. So far we got 150 on 1, 140 on 2, 130-ish on 3, and 145 on 4. That's pretty much in the normal range. We'll see what 5 and 6 have. I suspect 5 or 6 might be the trouble ones. Alright, quick tip. I forgot to put in the plug in the coil, thus it wouldn't turn. We're back to normal now.